on YouTube.
No. Make you famous.
No, it's just for us.
By the way, there's a myology presentation by me that somebody put up on YouTube. Let me know what the address of that one is, because I think I'm the only one who doesn't know where that is or how to search for my own presentation on YouTube. They put that up without my permission, and permission. There's no recall now. But I'd like to be able to look at that as well. I think I'm maybe the only one who hasn't seen it. I want to see what that looks like.
I don't use YouTube.
So that's Bio 9 relevant. That's a particular myology presentation. So let's go to, let's see, we will go to this one. Now, leaving size aside, what is the relationship of this to the one we were just looking at? Yeah, how do you know that? Not using size as a criteria.
More white?
More centrum,
Yeah, more centrum, semiovalle, and also notice that the central sulcus doesn't extend as far internally, because this is, on the flip side of this is the very top of the hemisphere. So because of
that one's actually upside down, the other one.
Yeah, that's right. Because of the shape of the hemisphere, because on this, all you see on this side is piumata, you see over there.
Oh, that'll show
I had to leave the piumata on. You can't see the sulci and the gyri so well. I have to keep the piumata on to maintain the integrity of the section. So the central sulcus and the precentral gyrus and the associated sulci, the pre and the post-central sulci, first go this way on the top of the brain and then turn to go down. So here, what you're looking at here is substantially a longitudinal section, of the uppermost part of the central sulcus and the pre and post-central gyri. But then as you get toward the lateral aspect of the hemisphere, the sulci turn to go down, and then you see something closer to the true depth. And the lower you get, the shallower it looks, because now here it's being cut transversely. It's still being cut obliquely over here, but as you go lower, it gets cut transversely, and they're really not that deep. Okay? So that's another thing that says
Did you slice these?
Yeah.
You did a fine job.
Thank you. So,
Words of Forrest Gump. That's a
there
fine
will be
job.
questions such as, I will show two sections, and I will say, what is the relationship between these two? And you have to be able to say that this one is inferior, and then say how you know, such as there's more centrum semiovalle visible here, and things like that. Okay. See more
They're
centrum
cousins.
semiovalle, less there. And here's where the central sulcus was running this way on the top of the brain. As it turns to go down, you start to see something more closely approximating its true depth. Here's being almost cut lengthwise. Lower down, it'll even look shallower. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with there. Now let me see what we can do here. Let's see. Well, here's the lid for this one.
So that's all we need to know on that one?
Put a lid on it, Chief.
Yeah, so that, well, on this one I can also just note, there's some repetition. There's the superior frontal gyrus and the superior frontal sulcus and the middle frontal gyrus. See over here, you can see the superior frontal gyrus. And you have to be at an angle for viewing where you don't see the reflections on the surface of the fluid, though. And there's the superior frontal sulcus, and here's the middle frontal gyrus. And then back over here, now here's another thing that shows on this one, which doesn't show on that one because that one's too high. There's the parieto-occipital sulcus. So this is occipital lobe back over here. This is the parieto-occipital sulcus. You see here, the parieto-occipital sulcus. Okay, and you should look at this, get close enough to see this. Now, let's do this.
Oh no.
Oh.
We're mixing juices.
Oh, Jojo will tell you what happens when that goes down.
That's what we call incest.
Now, I can flip some of these without damage. Some of them are so thin
You
that
got
they'll
brain on your
scrunch up.
Right there.
There was a little bit of brain there. Okay, now look at this.
She jumped sky high, scared the hell out of me too. I thought you
Now
were
be
going
close
down.
enough to see this. Look at this again. Look at this side again. No, I can't move this too far in that direction though, because I'm going to drip on these. Look at these again. Look at this one again and try to fix this image in your mind.
Is there less white?
He was right.
Look at this again.
What about it?
Now I'm going to flip it.
Oh.
Flip it.
Now here's the question, but don't answer it until they've seen also. The question is, what is the relationship of this side of the slice to the other side? Now don't answer right away though.
That's inferior.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Nobody ever does.
What is the relationship of this side of the slice to the other side?
There's more of the
Okay.
central valley.
So that was
Yes, sir.
inferior.
More
Yeah,
inferior
this is the inferior side.
of the inferior slice. Of the inferior
The
part.
more inferior slice than the other one.
And now we're starting to get into whoop whoop lateral ventricles.
Yeah, so now even without the
More.
ventricles, if this was slightly higher, more centrum semiovalle would say that this is the inferior side, you see.
Not me.
You see a lot more centrum semiovalle over here. So even if this were sliced thinner and you didn't see the ventricles, this would still say inferior, you know. And notice that the central sulcus is even shallower because now it's running this way. On that top section, it was running this way. It was cut almost lengthwise, you see. It turns to go downward on the lateral aspect of the hemisphere. And then you see its true depth. On that first section, it was being cut lengthwise, you know, rather than transversely.
Like that, Billy?
So here, now what you're looking at here are the roofs of the bodies of the lateral ventricles, you know. That's what we have over here.
If we just put lateral ventricle, would that be okay? Do we have to put the whole entire
Well, it
thing?
depends on how I ask the question. If I ask for more specificity, you'd have to say at least
The
a
roof of?
roof. If I say, what am I touching here? You have to say the roof of the lateral ventricle.
Okay.
Because we're looking up, you know, we're looking upward from inferior, you know, towards superior. Okay.
But if you ask, like, you know, how do you know that this is the more inferior side? If we said because you can see part of the lateral ventricle, you'd take that.
I might ask for two simply
central
But you
because.
would still take that if you asked.
Yeah, that's
two.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I might say two because I want you to say the more centrum semiovalle, you know.
Okay.
Okay, so now,
You have to pour some more juices in there?
we will now to pour more juice in. Unfortunately, right now, I only have concentrated preservative. I have to have somebody dilute preservative. So,
You can't just steal it back from that one?
yeah. So, while at the end, while we're putting away the ones that don't need more fluid, if somebody can do the dilution, it's 1 volume of concentrate with 4 volumes of water. I have an empty container into which that can be poured. Then we'll be able to pour more fluid in these.
Do 2 to 1. It's a weak ass margarita.
Okay, so now,
We have 6 minutes left on this one.
Not you, I'm saying the
I don't know what to do after it stops, so I'm gonna hand it to you.
Start a new one.
let's take
I don't
a
know
look
how to
at
do that.
this.
Now we're talking my language.
When it runs out, I'm just gonna hand it to you.
X marks the spot.
Start a new one now.
I don't know how
Now,
to do that. But
now we're